So, as the title says, today's video is going to be all about my 3-day detox that I did of digital products, which basically means my phone, my laptop, my iPad, and TV. And I really got to say, I was pleasantly surprised with everything that happened. Very, very interesting how my body responded. I'm going to go through day by day what ended up happening. But really, this all began when my wife ended up seeing a study, I think it was on Instagram, about how doing a 3-day detox from digital products ended up rewiring or resetting all of the dopamine receptors in the brain. And I was like, man, probably everything that I've been through in my entire life. I'm 47 years old right now. Probably I should do something like that. So I ended up doing it. So day one, I wake up just like any other day. Didn't seem like anything was really going on too different. But what I ended up noticing by around 8, 9 o'clock, I also didn't drink any coffee during this time. Coffee will obviously raise dopamine levels, feel good sensation that you get from coffee, or just, you kind of wake up or you might be cranky. And then you have your cup of coffee and you're like, today's going to be a great day. Yeah, that's a dopamine hit right there from the caffeine. So I didn't have any coffee during this time. And it's not like I drink a lot. I have one a day, 1 cup a day in the morning, typically after I train, probably right before my first client. So, I'm looking maybe like 8:30, 9 o'clock in the morning, something like that. And I love it. I love coffee. I love how it tastes. I love how it makes me feel. And, if you ever watch Dr. Huberman's podcast on coffee and caffeine, you'll understand that it produces a nostalgic effect in your body, and that's why you keep on coming back for more. But yeah, I didn't have any coffee, so I titrated off of it by the time I started my first day of the digital detox. And by around 8:30, 9 o'clock, I want to say, I started to find that my brain was looking for reasons to look at my phone. It was like, dude, you got to check in, see if anybody hits you up in the DMs and Instagram. I'm like, this is so silly. And then 15 minutes later, hey, you remember you wanted to check out that one property? You should go on realtor.com. Like, it was kind of like someone just tapping me on the shoulder and saying, hey, like whispering in your ear, hey, you gotta go and do this, man. You gotta go and just fire up the laptop real quick, right? And it was kind of starting to become like a game. I would all of a sudden, this voice would pass through my head, like, hey, go and check if you got any important text messages. It was the craziest thing ever, and it brought me back to a book that I absolutely love called Outwitting the Devil by Napoleon Hill. It's one of his other books. Everybody knows Think and Grow Rich, right? But the entire book is about a guy who's interviewing the devil and he's trying to outwit him. And it's a lot of what he talks about is really profound. And it just becomes like this game, chapter after chapter, between this guy and the devil, where it's almost kind of like a mental chess match. That's really what my brain was creating. So I want to say somewhere around like 10:30, 11 o'clock, started getting a buzzing in the prefrontal cortex right about here. And it was encompassing like this entire area. And my brain was just like buzzing. My head was buzzing. And I'm like, dude, this is kind of like really, really strange. But I just chalked it up that it's like all part of the process. The afternoon came, I want to say around 2 o'clock. And I was starting to get a little bit tired. I never get that dreaded 2 p.m. cortisol crash, whatever you want to call it. And I was like laying on the couch. I think football was on, and I'm laying there and I'm like nodding. I'm falling asleep, basically like sitting right next to my daughter, and she's talking to me about the game. And I'm like, holy cow, can't even keep my eyes open. After that, I started to get pretty miserable. I felt not good. A lot of my body started to ache, and there was almost kind of like this underlying irritation of, what are you doing? Like, what's going on? I don't really like this. So I ended up having dinner. I think we went for a walk after dinner, watched the sunset, went back up, put the children to sleep between 6:45, 7 p.m. And I was out by 7:30 literally snoring, which I never snore. My wife was like, I cannot remember the last time you were snoring ever. And she said that I was out snoring by like 7:35. I ended up sleeping all the way until 5 a.m. When I usually get up around 5 a.m. So I slept till I normally do. Woke up and I felt a little bit invigorated on day two. I felt better in the morning, but it was really interesting because it was short lived. And I want to say around 10:30, I started to get really angry. And I'm like, what the hell is this? Everything my children were doing was irritating me. Even though we're in Hawaii and on vacation and having an absolutely beautiful day, I was very standoffish. I'm like, get away from me. I didn't say that to them, but that's how I felt. I was like, get away from me. Like, I don't want to, don't stop touching me. I would go for a swim, and a lot of times my firstborn, Emerson, she's 6 years old, almost seven. We'll go out pretty far, and she'll get a little bit tired swimming, and she'll grab onto my shoulders, and I'm out there, and I could feel it. I'm like, she's going to grab onto my shoulders, and she grabs onto my shoulders. We're in this beautiful place. I'm like, don't fucking touch me. Like that's what I started. That's what I'm feeling. And I'm like, wow, I've done enough work on myself. I've read enough books, A New Earth, Eckhart Tolle, The Tethered Soul. I mean, you name it. I could just go on and on. I know this isn't me. I'm the observer. You're the one that listens. You're not the one that's talking, right? So I kept everything calm and I kept myself collected, right? But still, man, like I want to say probably even until I went to bed. I went to bed normal on day two. It was around 9 o'clock. But it was very interesting, the anger that was coming out of my body as a result of doing this digital detox. And that's the dopamine, right? The dopamine is constantly like, hey, I'm feeling good, looking for the reward. Like, what's going on? When am I going to get it? And even though I didn't have that voice in my head telling me to go look at my phone or my computer, every once in a while, that kind of, it almost becomes like a body memory or a muscle memory. You're checking the goddamn thing so much, or, something pops in my head like, I want to check that property out in Italy that we might buy. And you hop on the computer 10 minutes and then you get sucked in for like another 35, 40, like checking your email, you go on Instagram, you go on YouTube, and then, oh, I forgot about this thing on Amazon that I got to buy, right? And you start to realize, man, like how much these devices really influence your life on a day-to-day basis. And you don't realize it until you take it away. So yeah, day two, a lot of anger. What I did notice is that my digestion was different. My digestion was different and my intestines felt a lot better and I was less hungry. And that, like, I'm very in tune with how much I'm eating every day, how my blood sugar levels are, et cetera, et cetera. Day two was probably the best day that I felt digestion wise in a really long period of time. It felt great. It was amazing. So went to bed at a normal time. And then I woke up on day three, and day three was the opposite of day two. I woke up on day three and I was angry again, really angry. And I'm like, come on, man, I'm going to start this all over again. Like, really? That's not me. I've worked out my daddy issues and I've worked on my gallbladder meridian, gosh, for like the last 4 or 5 years. Frequency, oils, massage, supplements, you name it, and I've cleared it out. So I know I'm not dealing with suppressed anger or whatever, but again, it's that dopamine hit every single day, 400, 500, 600 times a day. The average person has like 5-6 hours of screen time just on their phone, let alone, if you're working all day and you're on your phone or you're on a screen all day, right? So anger, day three in the morning, I was dealing with a lot of anger again. Then I want to say around 11, 12, 1 o'clock, it started to clear up and I felt amazing. My mood was back that I usually have, where I'm just goofy, like playing around, having fun with the girls. I can remember digestion was good again, hunger was down, and we had a normal dinner, put the girls and my son to sleep, and ended up falling asleep normal time, 9:30, and was totally fine. Woke up on day four, and what I noticed was that I didn't have that urge. Like there were no urges anymore. There was no little voice in the back of my head like, yo, bro, it's 8:30. How come you didn't check your phone yet? I didn't check my phone on day 4 till I think like 9:30. So what's really interesting is on day 5, we were traveling back to the mainland. So when I woke up in the morning, I had to get on my phone, check in on the American app, American Airlines app. And what I noticed was, I mean, it's 5:30 in the morning and I'm on my phone and I'm checking in on this app. It took less than 10 seconds for my eyes to bug the fuck out, man. To just bug out. Like my eyes started watering and they're blinking and I had to keep on looking away from the screen and wiping my eyes. I'm just like, what is this? Normally, I don't really have that problem if I wake up and I'm looking at my screen or something like that early in the morning. So it's very interesting, that reaction. And it definitely made me realize that there is a potential effect, obviously, of looking at screens that early in the morning. You know, my phone, I have a blue light screen protector, blue light blocker on there. My laptop, my MacBook, my laptop, I have a blue light screen filter on that too. And I don't know if you are paying attention to these glasses, but these are the only glasses that I wear now. These are called Tesla Hyperlight glasses. I don't think they have an affiliate program. I'll put the link down below. But I started to realize after some time that blue light blockers weren't really doing it for me. So when I stopped coaching, when I stopped being a gym owner and I started to write and publish books more, I mean, I'm sitting at the computer 4, 6, 8 hours a day. And I started to realize that I was more tired after doing nothing but writing all day than if I was coaching for 8 hours. And I started to question what the heck is going on. This is 2016, 2017. So started doing some research and everything was pointing to blue light. And I ended up purchasing blue light blockers. And that day, no fatigue whatsoever while I was writing. I mean, zero fatigue at all. So I was like, okay, there's something to this. Well, I started getting to the point now that I've been wearing the same blue light blockers for almost 8 years, where I started to realize again, I'm starting to like get fatigued if I'm producing content or if I'm writing or publishing books still, where I'm on the computer or on my phone for a majority of the time throughout the day. Why am I getting so fatigued? Right? And it all has to do with the blue light again. Phones are stronger. The new MacBook screens are stronger. The new computers basically are stronger, right? So I ended up doing some more research and come across these Tesla Hyperlight glasses. And they have some pretty bold claims. They're basic, but they're bold. And I started doing a little bit of research behind it. And what really caught my eye is that they coat the lenses in carbon 60 fullerene. So if you are not if you're not familiar with fullerene or carbon 60, what it is, it's basically an atom that has 60 sides. It looks like an atom that's a soccer ball. And while I generally caution ingesting it for metaphysical reasons that I can't really go into in this video, it'll just be too long and off topic. I definitely believed in it if I was like, okay, I'm putting it on the coating of the glasses and then using it. Okay, using the glasses. Okay, I guess I could believe that. So even though they're pricey, I purchased them. And the very first day that I wore them, they did something to my eyes. My eyes, when I got done wearing them, they were sore, but in a good way. They weren't sore like, oh man, I have been on the computer all day and my eyes are bugging out of my skull. They were sore in kind of like a stronger way. And that's how I knew that they were doing something. So when I'm on the computer doing a lot of stuff, I'm wearing these and my eyes feel amazing when I get done and I take them off. So I'll put the link down below to the Tesla Hyperlight website. But that's really about it. That's all I got for you today. I really hope that you enjoyed this, and let me know in the comments if you got any questions or what you would like to see content for another video, for the next video or whatnot. And if you got time, check out my program Rebuilding You that I revamped for the 2 months that I was in Hawaii, just through some amazing, amazing content in there that nobody else is talking about. And it's just absolutely, it is my contribution to the healing of the human race. That's really what it comes down to. So, as always, love, light, and aloha. And if you got time, like and subscribe, man.